question number 9 from the sample test. If I gave this problem on the test, it might well be longer and more complex than this one. This was just a placeholder, but I wanted you to know what I meant by showing only the form. What I want to do is take a rational expression and I want to break it apart into its different fractions, into different rational expressions, smaller rational expressions. You never had a reason to do that in algebra, but there's going to be a time in calculus when it's a crucial and very important move, and it will allow us to integrate rational expressions. The features that I'm looking for. Here I have a repeated root. Here I have a root which is of greater power than first. Here I have just a single simple root. It's also worthwhile noticing what the highest power of x would be. Here I've got an x squared, an x squared, and an x, so that should end up being x to the 5th. Over here, when I write the expanded form, I expect to use 5 different constants. I expect to use A, B, C, D, and E. In general, you will see me use as many constants on the right as the highest power of x. With repeated roots, I'm going to have a copy to the 1st degree, a copy to the 2nd degree, and so on until I reach the highest power. In this case, it's only power 2. So this will take care of my first root on the bottom. For the second root, where I have an x squared plus 1, that doesn't factor, up top I'm going to need an expression that is just under it in terms of magnitude. So instead of a second order, I want a first order on the top. So that will be a cx plus d. For my last term, the x minus 3, I will just put up a single letter. Notice that here, even though it looks like it's second order, since it's repeated, I go with the smallest value, the x, and this is first order, so I have just a constant above it, and I walk it up the line. This is going to be second order, so I have a first order equation up top. Notice that I expected to use a through e, and in my final answer you'll find a through e. I've been known to ask this question where you have to write it all the way out and the last letter used is up around K or L. So on the actual test, it might be more difficult than this problem.